Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. In the last video we made the covers and we did the binding for the Basically Amazing printable scrapbook album templates. So basically this is the smallest size. So basically there's 4 sizes, A, B, C, D. This is D, but all 4 of them are made the exact same way. So probably more likely than not, I probably won't make the covers unless I do something special and the other 3 that we make besides this one. So if you want to see how we made these covers and did the binding, I will have a link up here and down below, and in that description box of that video there will be timestamps. So if you wanted to jump to the binding, for example, you could easily go down there and hit that timestamp. So these are printable scrapbook album templates that I have available in my Etsy shop. There's a link down below if you want to check them out. And today I think we're going to do, I'm going to show you the 2 different ways you can do the pages in here, the 2 different ways you can add pages to the binding. Also, there is a link down below to the full playlist for this set of templates. So it starts with the introduction. So if you want to see what all is involved with this template, what's included in this set of templates, the introduction video has all of that information. There is another video where I did a flip through of all 4 prototype albums, all the different sizes. I do a flip through of all of those albums. That's also in there. And then there's an add-on already. It's Basically Amazing add-on photo mats. There's also a video for that in the playlist. And then this video of making the covers and adding the binding. Okay, so all that's down below. There's also an Amazon list specifically for this set of templates. So anything I use, or to the best that I can, will be linked down in that list. And there will also be links to other places if I specifically say something about a specific product. This is my workbook. We did not make this on camera, but I will link my workbook playlist up here and down below. You make your workbook however you want. You make it a little bit at a time if you want to. Laminate, don't laminate, put it in a binder, put it in a folder, whatever makes you happy, then do it that way. But you could do it just a little bit at a time because it is a very big set of templates. Very big. So since we're working in the smallest album, which would be the D size album, that's this one, I've printed off some pages. So the D size album, the covers were on 4D. We traced 2 of the page 4D onto chipboard, and we used the mat for 2 page spine on page 5. So then we used page 6 for the binding, and then for the main pages in here, the main pages are on page 10D. So that's the size for this album. So remember, the pages will have a letter next to them if it only fits into this album. Well, not if it only, but this one will also fit into all the other sizes. But this is the main base page for this size album, okay? So like if you were making a size C album, then you would want to use page 9C. This is the main base page for the C size album. This is the B size album, and this is the A size album. So you just need to correspond your letter with your album size, and you'll be fine. So this is just printed onto white cardstock. I have it linked in my Amazon. It's my favorite. It's 80 pound. I've been loving it. It's really soft, smooth. I really enjoy this cardstock. I have it linked in my Amazon. So I've printed 4, but I've already prepped some pages. But what I wanted to show you how to do is to do the 2 different styles of pages that you can add into these albums. So we'll talk about the traditional way. Here's the size album that we're making. We're not making it just like this one, but this is the prototype. But we are gonna make this size album the simplest version possible, because I figured if you're a beginner, that'd be a good way to start. The easiest way to make a mini album and it still look beautiful, and it not be super complicated or involved, but again, it still looks beautiful. So that's the way we're going to be making this album, but this is the size. And again, there's a flip through of this in the video where I did a flip through of all 4 sizes. So this is the size D, even though it has an H, that's H for Harrison, just so you know. Okay, so if you're making these pages the traditional way that I've always done them, well, almost always done them, you're going to want to follow these instructions, okay? I have 2 pages printed out. And on the main base page for the D, there's also a smaller pocket, or it could be a flap, or it could be a belly band, what have you. But we are going to just be using this piece for this set of this page style. So what this page style will do, will give you a side pocket, okay? And it also forms a tube. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this tab. So again, this is just a belly band or a pocket or a flap or whatever you want it to be. But on the main base page, on one of them, we're going to cut both long tabs off and leave both short tabs. Oh, let me get this one off. Right, and so then we're going to leave those two short tabs on. And then on the second page, we are going to cut all 4 tabs off. This is a Fiskars Precision Heavy Duty Paper Trimmer. I love this paper trimmer. It's my favorite, but I'm having issues with my elbow, and I might have to switch to a different paper trimmer for a little while. I have like tennis elbow or something. I don't know. It's weird. Okay, so there's those 2 pieces. And then I'm going to get my scoreboard out. This is a We Are Memory Keepers scoreboard. And this is a pencil style bone folder. And I'm going to score both of these tabs. This is a Teflon stylus style. Okay, so then we want to go ahead and prep. There it is. And burnish. This is a Teflon bone folder. Burnish both sides. My printer, this particular printer that I used to print this out, it printed it. I don't know why it does this, but I don't know, it like sucks it in too fast, and it starts printing just a hair too late. So mine always seems to be shifted down or even crooked sometimes. So you may want to pay attention to your printer, but when you're printing just plain, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference whatsoever. But if you were printing onto pattern paper, for example, you may want to make sure that your printer doesn't go askew while you are printing. Maybe just do one at a time, because I printed off several at one time. Okay, so now I'm going to grab some tape. This is, let me use a smaller one, because I'm not going to really use it. I'm just going to demonstrate for you. We're going to add, this is a 1/4 inch Scrapbook.com tape. It's a good price for the amount that you get. So we're just going to add tape. I'm going to cut the excess off of this as well. Just add tape to those 2 tabs, and I'm going to trim away that excess paper from where it printed funny. And then I'm going to tab my corners. And I didn't go all the way to the corner. I don't know if it's going to focus because of being white cardstock. I didn't go all the way to the corner when I tabbed it. I did leave just a teeny little bit. You can go all the way to the corner if you want to. And then I'm going to burnish this down. And then I'm going to add it to this piece. So I'll flip this over so that the printed distress marks or lines or edges will be on the outside, and then I'm going to line it up. This one edge, line it up good. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to line this up just like that. Then I'm going to burnish, because it looks like I got on there a little crooked, and that's okay. Not that big a deal. I almost never have something completely straight. So it's burnished. It's on there good. And so now we have like the tube, right? Have like a sleeve pocket. So it's open on both ends. Okay, so again, we've got the tube. So what we would normally do, and I'm not going to attach it down, But what we would normally do is we would put tape on either side of our binding strip or fin or whatever you want to call it. And we would slide this up over top of it. Just like this. Whoa. Right? Just like this. And it would be, whoops. I haven't like mitered these corners because normally what you would want to do is you'd want to miter that corner there so that this would slide over top, no problem. Let me try a different one. So this would slide down over it without any problem at all. There we go. There we go. So you would want to attach it down with tape, right? And so then you would have this pocket. I'm going to use some, I'm not going to tape it down, but I'm going to clamp it. I'm going to try to anyway. With these bulldog clips to see if I can't kind of show you. I mean, this is how we normally do our bindings. Like normally, not our bindings, this is how we normally add our pages in. See, it doesn't want to hold still. I mean, I don't blame it. It's not glued down. Why would it want to hold still? So it accomplishes two things. It attaches your page into your book, and it also gives you a pocket, a side pocket, right? So there's one way to do a page. And so the way I'm going to show you the new way, the way that I've been loving, I'm going to show you that today. So if you're familiar at all with my templates, you know that normally my templates have like where I've got that angled there, right? You would see a distressed line going at an angle instead of going straight out. Well, while I was working on these templates, I wanted to have space, like hidden space to add like just photos. Let me see if I can find a demonstration. Well, this is not really hidden. I guess I didn't do it in this one very well. But let's just say this was flat and there was not a pocket or anything. I wanted to have extra space that you could just add photos. You see how that just kind of opens up like that? Well, I decided that I wanted to design these templates so that you could do that if you wanted to. So in order to do that, we needed it to be a full, like it needed to just be a full straight line and not curved and not slanted. So also, the reason I decided to keep it straight, another reason I decided to keep it straight is because you might want to miter your corners differently than I do mine. So I just decided to keep them all straight. Anything that has a tab on it, I just kept them straight. I tried to. I think I did on just about everything. That'll give you many, many options. So let me demonstrate. Let me just show you what I mean. Okay, I'm gonna get my paper trimmer back out. So for this one, again, my printer printed all funky, but I need that whole tab. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this tab off right here, but I'm gonna leave this middle tab on. You guys are just gonna love this. It's gonna just open up a whole different world for you guys. You just wait and see. Okay, so I left this tab on. I'm gonna cut this tab off only because it's not a full tab and I need the full tab. Right? And then for this particular demonstration, I'm gonna cut both the top and bottom tabs off. Okay. Okay, so we have something that looks like this. All right, so I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to do it to this page here, the exact same thing. I'm going to cut this pocket slash belly band slash flip, whatever you want it to be. I'm going to cut that away, and then I'm going to cut this other tab off. So if your printer didn't print the way mine did, and it printed that whole tab, then you pick the tab that's easiest to cut off. And then I'm going to cut both the top and bottom tabs off. Well, That's too much. I've been recording. Today's December 17th. This is the second video I've recorded today, and it snowed this morning. The whole ground was covered in snow. I just looked out the window and it looks sunny and no snow anywhere. That's just, I didn't even get a chance to go outside. Daggone it. Okay, so here's what we have. We have 2 sheets that look like this. And then we have 2 pieces that look like this. So I'm going to set these aside because we'll use those. We'll try to use those in this album. I'll show you a fun way to use these as well. So we're going to set those aside. And then I'm going to put my paper trimmer up. I set those aside into my crafty companion over here, in case you're wondering. Of course, I'm using my crafty companion. It's a workstation. All right, we are Memory Keeper scoreboard. We want to score that tab, and we want to score this tab. And then we want to go ahead and prep. We want to go both ways. So we're going to prep the one way, and we're going to burnish Teflon bone coater, and then we're going to flip it over and prep it the other way, just like that. So we're going to burnish and flip, prep, prep, burnish, burnish, flip, burnish. Okay, so now what we're going to do is on the back side here where it's all white, we are going to go ahead and ink this up. This is Distress Oxide Walnut Stain, and my ink station here. We made it on video, so if you want to check that out, I'll have it linked up here and down below. We made a garbage bowl and we made the ink station. It's nice to have because it's easy to keep everything in one spot and nothing gets all messy and gross. So what we're going to do is we're going to ink this part here. We're not going to ink this part, but we're going to flip this over and we're just going to kind of hit just the edges, because when you cut, there is distress edges on here already, but when you cut it with a paper trimmer, it sometimes doesn't look as finished because it has like a white edge all of a sudden. So we're going to do that to both. I had to get a new spongy thing for my just, what is this called? Blending tool, because I'll tell you what, I've been going through these things and they were making a mess. I kind of feel like this one might be too. They just don't make them the way they used to, you know? Oh, I'm not done. Flip it this way, get all my edges. Okay. So on the side that was white to begin with, we are going to add some tape. This is 3/8 of an inch score tape, and we're going to go edge to edge here. Do not go over the score mark. And then same for here. You don't even have to butt up to the score. You can just go right in the middle. If you have 1/4 of an inch tape, you can use 2 strips of 1/4 of an inch tape. Right, so we're going to burnish that tape on there. So we are going to add these to the book. I'm gonna flip it this way though. I know that's there, so that's our demonstration of the way we normally add our pages. So over here, for this fin, we are going to take the tape off the back here. Oops. Keep grabbing. I'm still trying to use this. I'm still seeing if I like it or not. It's giant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this onto the cover, and I'm going to kind of line it up. Remember, I miscut my binding if you watch that. I'm just going to line that up there. Right. And then I'm going to fold this over onto that tape, and then I'm going to burnish. Okay, so see, we have added that onto that binding strip right there. Right, now it looks kind of weird on this side, right, because it's bigger. The page is actually a little bit bigger than the binding strip. Again, remember, I miscut it. So now we're going to take this piece. Oops. And we are going to line it up with that page. on this side, whoa, you don't want to go over that score mark there. You kind of want to make sure that you stay above that. So now we added that, right? So here's our page added to that one fin, right? So now we have a page inside here, right? So you could hide things in here. You can add pockets. You can add just photos. You can add your journaling, whatever you want, right? So that gave us more real estate, adding it that way. So not only can you do that, but then you can add more on top of that, add more on top of that, and you can just keep adding and adding. Like, let's see, what does this one have? So there's the same situation we have going on now. I added one on each side, right? And then over here, I added another page to make a pocket, right? So you made a side pocket here, and then I added this flip, and then another pocket on top, right? And so I did add a pocket on this side. I don't think I added a side pocket. Nope, I just added a pocket on this side, and then just matted this side. I added a pocket here. So the same situation, it's just 2 pages, but you can add so much to it. You can add more layers just like this, more flat layers just like that, okay? Oops, I keep catching on something. Now this one's probably not the best example. This was the first one, my first prototype, but I wanted to show you something real quick. See, this is size C. Look, I came off. This is size C, and you'll see that I didn't print the background design binding. I just printed it on white cardstock, but you see it has pattern paper on there. So here's the situation where it's actually got several layers. Look, there's another situation where it's just got mats, right? It's just got that inside hidden mat. And then I matted this side, put flips and stuff. Anyway, I just love it. So inside here is these spaces right here. And you see these have been matted. But do not mat them until you're done. That should be the last thing you do, is mat those spaces. Unless, you know, the last thing you want to do, you might want to add the traveler's notebook situation, like in this one. You might want to do that last. But you get my point. You get what I'm trying to say, because you want to punch through all the layers. Like in this prototype, I actually printed the background design on the binding strips. So, but anyway, so you don't want to mat those until you're done. So since my pocket slid off here, you kind of get the point. So you can either have the, you know, 2 pocket like normal, or you can make these fun pages, because then what you can do is you can attach another one, maybe not this 2 pocket, but you can attach another page to make a side pocket if you so choose. So I'm going to, I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense. So I've already prepped, how many more? 6, 1, 2, 3, 6 more pages just like this. And I'm gonna add 2 to each one of these fins, and then I'll be back. I've got all the pages in the book now, right? So every single one of them is the same. Attached one onto one side of that fin, and then one onto the other side of that fin. So each fin has 2 pages on it. So now we have 8 pages. Right? Super cool. And super flexible and super awesome. Okay, so I thought maybe, you know, we have those leftover pieces from the pages. These are part of the pages. So I thought maybe we would use a couple and add some, a little bit of an interactive element. We're going to still keep it simple, but I think you guys would like this. I think even if a beginner would like this. So this is, I'll show you an example. This is the A size album. And in one of the pages here, back here, if you want to see a full flip through, go through the playlist and you'll see a page by page flip through of all the prototypes. So this is the same as this, okay? It's the same piece, but it's also a flip, but it holds even more photo mats. So what I want to do is take a couple of those and make and make a flip. We'll make 2 of them. We'll do one, like we'll do one at the beginning of the book and one at the end of the book. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so I've already put one together, but I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to grab my other paper trimmer, my elbow. Alright, this is the old one. This is the old Fiskars one. It's got the slidey thingy and the little wire. I mean, it's good too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like it too. It's just, whew, that sure does hurt that big one hurts my elbow. Okay, so for one of these, we are going to go ahead and trim it right on that line there to make a perfect little fin here. And then we're going to trim, can you see? Yeah, we're going to trim the 2. I'm so not used to using this one. It's been a long time. I probably need a new blade and everything. We're going to trim the 2 short tabs off on one piece. It's so weird, but it's not hurting my elbow. So there's one piece. And then on this piece, I'm just going to take some of this excess off. We're going to leave all 3 tabs on. We just don't need all that extra. It is so not as heavy. It's so light compared to my other one. Alright, so then I'm going to get my scoreboard back out, and we're going to score all these tabs. Right? Just like that. Whoa. Sorry about that. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and prep all these pieces, all these tabs we just scored. Okay, so for this one, we're going to go ahead and prep it the other way as well. And this one we're not. So we're going to go, before we cut anything, we're going to add some tape. So this one we're going to add tape to the back side here, the white side. So I'm going to take, this is the, what is this? 3/8 of an inch. What is this? 3/8 inch score tape. So we're going to put that on the tab there. And then we're going to add tape to all 3 of these tabs. Notice I still haven't cut my corners yet. Ooh, this might not be small enough to go on the little short tabs. We'll see. Barely. Okay. So this will give me an opportunity to show you the other reason why I left everything square. Just in case if you already had some lines there, you would want to go ahead and, you know, trim those, and then you would cut your tape that way and all of that. Well, this gives you the option, and you still have this option even if the corners are already mitered, the lines were already there. You can still do 2 things. You can go straight across like that, or you can come in and tab not quite straight across. Okay, so what's the difference between the 2? Well, when you don't cut straight across, you get overlap. So it overlaps. See that? And that's good. I love doing it this way. I do. I really enjoy this type. And then you can also, if you go straight across, you don't have any overlap. You see that? So it just really depends on the situation. It depends on your bulk situation. Do you have enough space for that extra bulk, or do you really need to keep it flat, you know, or as flat as possible? So I'm going to go ahead, actually, I'm going to go ahead and straighten this one out since the other one's already cut straight. We'll straighten that one. So it's going to look like that. But before I attach it to anything, I'm going to ink the inside edge, just because I think you're going to be able to see it a little bit. Right, and I'm going to come on this side, and I'm going to ink this edge just a little bit, just where it's been folded, and cut. And then on this piece, I'm going to ink this whole side. So I'm going to go ahead and get this edge here. Okay, so then on this side, I'm just going to get my edges because of the white showing through when you trim your cardstock. And I'm even going to get this tab here. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to attach, I think what we'll do, let's say this is the front of the book. So we've got the one page, open it up, the two inside, and then we got the back side of the one page. We're going to attach this to that same tab as we did the page. So we're going to attach it just like this. So I'm going to remove the tape backing. Oh, got ink on it. It doesn't matter. We're going to be matting, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to flip it this way because it's easier for me to eyeball. So I'm just going to line that up. Just like that. And just go right over top of the tab there, right? So you could do this as many times as you want. You can add page after page after page. Oh, let me show you a photo of why I decided to do it this way. I took a picture of my phone. Let me find it. It's probably not the best way to look. I saw this photo. I don't want you to see I saw this photo. Oh, come on. No, let's see. Online, I was researching, looking for, what was I looking for? I was looking for some vintage ephemera, like vintage papers and things. I didn't have any luck, but I did see this. Now, this is just amazing. I just wanted to tell you, I didn't buy this book, but check out this binding. Do you see that? So there's all these like fin type things, except it's folded over paper, and it looks like a bunch of layers of paper, and it like folds over, and then each one of their signatures are sewn into that peak there. Can you see that? That is so cool. I have never seen that before. So that's where my idea came from. That's why I was like, I'm gonna try that. I wanna have extra space, and I think that'll be the best way to do it. So I didn't sew it, obviously, but I just thought that's perfect. Isn't that cool? I should have bought the book. It's giant, but it was expensive. Okay, all right, moving on. So we added that one, and I will end up putting magnets to hold it so when it won't flop around. So we added the one part there, and now we're gonna go and add the pocket part right on top of there, like that. And you could have done it the other way, where you could have added a pocket inside here, but it just makes it a little bit bulkier. So since we attached that to the outside here, we can just layer this right on top. And it's a lot less bulk. So I'm going to start with just the long strip first. And I'm going to not go over the score mark. So depending on what step you are in your assembly of your book, it depends on whether it's easier to do this before you add the page to the book or after. It's totally personal preference and how bulky your book has gotten. Okay. So we're going to add one here. Right? So again, I'll have magnets that'll be keeping this attached to here so it doesn't flop around a lot. But think about all of the different, you know, photo mats and things that you can stick in here. As long as you've got magnets so that it doesn't like flop around a lot, it gives you a lot of extra space without taking up a whole bunch of product. Does that make sense? Like you don't have to use a whole lot of cardstock. So I just really love it. I love having that little extra flap there. Okay, so there's one, and I've already prepared the other one. So there's the middle, and so then I thought about repeating it on the inside of this last page here. So there's 1 page, 2 page, and doing it right here. And I've already assembled this one together. It's the same thing. It's just a pocket. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to attach it right down to that binding fin there, right? Isn't this awesome? I can just hear your brains going. I can just see the wheels are turning about how many ideas you guys are going to have with this idea. How many different things you're going to be able to do with it. You're going to have a ball. Okay. So then there is that pocket. Just as easy as that. And look how flat everything lies, right? So let's open it up and see we're still just 4 pages. We just have 4 fins in there, right? So we have the main 2 pages, and then we have the 2 additional pages, and then we have the 2 pages on each side of that fin, and then we added these cute little small short page pockets. Okay, so no matter what size album you're making, whether it be A, B, C, D, it does not matter. Every single one of them can be made this way. Every single one. So if you're making an A size album, you use the main base A size page. You can always add smaller pages. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew what I meant when I said I had a different way to add pages into the book. I just wanted to make sure you knew that so that you didn't go through and prep a bunch of pages, and then when I started making the album you were just like, oh no, I gotta start over. I didn't want you to do that. So I just wanted to share this really cool way of adding pages onto any fin binding that you have. So I think it's pretty neat anyway. So I want to stop here because, again, any size album, you can make your pages this way. So in the future, as we're going through this set of templates, I may not demonstrate how to add these pages like this into the, let's say, the B size album. Because, you know, I'll just say you add them in the same way you always do. You just one on either side of the fin. So I'll reference this video. So this will be in the playlist for the Basically Amazing scrapbook album templates. So you will be able to reference how to add your pages at any time. Now, if we do something fun or something different and we need to do a step-by-step for that specific thing, then I totally will. But I just wanted to show you the 2 different ways you could add pages onto your fin binding. If you're doing a fin binding, you can assemble your mini album any way you want. Or I'm sorry, we're not calling these mini albums, we're calling them scrapbooks. You can assemble your book any way you want, however you feel comfortable. So from the beginner to the expert, anybody can make this album, and anybody can make this album look fantastic. So I still haven't decided for this album what paper collection or if I'm going to use a printable. I want to keep this basic, and I just haven't decided what I want to do yet. So I might end up using the printable. I might use this as a Christmas album. So I might use the printable, what did I call it? Shoot. Where's my words? Let me find it and then I'll show you. The mini album ornament, not the free version, but the version that's in my Etsy shop, has 2 background designs in it, and I'm calling them green candy cane and pink candy cane. Maybe we will use those for this, so I can make like a little Christmas album. Yeah, maybe we'll do that because it is Christmas time. It is, you know, December 17th. So maybe we'll do that, and then maybe I'll add some other things in. I haven't chosen which background design, like which, I was thinking about using the new one, the small stripe. Oh, I guess I could show you this that I made. You know, I had all of my background designs, I had them for sale in October, and I'm gonna do that twice a year. So the next time all my background designs will go up for sale will be in April. But I made myself a little book, and I just used one of the pages in this new set of templates, and I did the binding. It doesn't really have a cover. This is just a page, but I did the binding the same way, and I just keep adding layer after layer. So like the set number 1 is all in one on one fin. So what I'm doing is I've got 2 printers that I use mainly for printing my paper. So this one is my inkjet, and this one is my laser. So I printed off the coffee stain and I put it in this book so that when I'm going through and I've got my pattern paper, I could be like, oh, that looks good with this, you know, depending on the situation. So it might be fun for you guys to make like a little swatch book like this. What are they out? What are the templates out in right now? I have already forgotten. How did I forget that? Okay, so currently the Basically Amazing templates are available in coffee stain, small stripe, text, light wood, and vintage polka dot. So if I was to use the green and pink stripe, you see, now I'm going to have to give it some thought. I'm going to have to think on it and play around with it a little bit to see which background design I'm going to use along with these printed papers. So that's what I'm not 100% sure. So if you want to follow me, you know, verbatim here, then hang on, wait. This mini album ornament set will be in my Etsy shop. It's not going anywhere. I'll have a link down below if you want to check it out, but you don't have to go buy it just yet. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that'd be fun to use those background designs. They're really pretty. They're not over the top. So I'm going to play around with this a little bit, this idea. And then, so next week we'll make this into an album. So, I mean, obviously. So next week we'll start adding the pretty papers and the photo mats and all of that different jazz into this album. And again, we're going to keep this one simple. So, if you want to wait until we're finished with this whole album to start your album, that might be a good idea too. It's totally up to you. But I am super excited. I love this set of templates. You guys are going to love it. I keep saying that. I am. I'm so excited. So be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And ring that bell. Hit that bell notification or icon thingy and turn on your notifications. And be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.